Trojan TV. I'm Jaina.
And I'm Olivia.
Summer is almost here. Let's look at some of the opportunities open for any students who are wanting to participate. GRASP is a at-home summer learning program run by NMC for over 30 years. The deadline for GRASP registration is May 12th. For more information, there are scheduled parent meetings on May 27th and 28th at 6:30 p.m. at the NMC University Center. If you have any questions, please call 231-995-1700. The Career Tech Center's Cool Tech Camp will have lots of different activities for you to be involved in over the summer. There is a fee of $40 and the registration deadline is May 22nd. If you have any questions, please call 231-922-6322. East is hosting an Invention Project Camp over the summer. To sign up, visit inventionproject.org, or for more information, go to emsib.weebly.com or see Mrs. Brooke. Attention staff, paid Google Chromebook Professional Development Explorer sessions are being offered at Central Grade School this summer. The dates are June 23rd and 30th, July 15th and 23rd, and August 19th and 27th. For more information, talk to Brandy Reynolds or sign up at the link below. Titan Hoops Camp is set for June 15th through 18th at TC West for 3rd through 9th grade girls. There are 2 sessions. Grades 3 through 6 meet from 12:30 to 2:30. Grades 7 through 9 meet from 3 to 5 at Traverse City West Senior High. If you are interested, pick up a form from the main office. In other news, Miss Winesapple and Mr. Idell are having a fundraiser for a girl in Guatemala. Their students are selling gift certificates for $10 to La Senorita. So, if you would like one, contact the teachers or their students. The 2015 Retirement Recognition Celebration is set for Thursday, May 28th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. Interested staff should RSVP by May 21st to Kelly Walter at 933-1713. Bottle caps are still being accepted by the NJHS. Put them in front of the 8th grade wing on the foyer. Mr. Dykstra started a new program called Bike to East. Here's Devin and Kaylin with more on the story.
So the rim's got a couple different things in here. We've got the rim tape, which is kind of beat up.
Mr. Dykstra and his students have been fixing bikes and giving them to elementary school students in need with their new program called Bike to East.
Why am I doing the bike repairs? The bike repairs are just part of a program called Bike to East, which is an opportunity for students to come in and work on bikes during resource period. Students are repairing the bikes because it's a skill that will benefit them the rest of their lives.
Mr. Dykstra says that the programs benefit more than just the recipients.
Giving them an opportunity to do something in the day that has a positive influence on somebody else by fixing a bike and giving it to somebody else. And maybe building a job skill that they may use in their life by walking into a bike shop and saying, hey, I'd like to be a bike mechanic.
The bikes have been donated by students and others to support the program.
So depending on the size of bike, if it's a small bike, it would go to a young elementary student, and if it's a little bit bigger bike, a bigger elementary school student, and if it's a big bike, maybe somebody here at East Middle School could benefit from the use of it.
The students say that they enjoy the program.
Fixing bikes is fun, and it gives me something to do during the day.
I think it's fun, and it gives people an opportunity to work on bikes.
There are 14 bikes currently under repair and will be distributed later this spring to students at Cherry Knoll. This has been Kaylin Wright and Devin Newton reporting for Trojan TV.
8th graders, if you are interested in trying out for the Central High School production of Footloose, you can try out on May 26th, 27th, and 28th, starting at 3:30. Materials will be available May 18th in the choir room. If there are any questions, please see Mrs. Sabell to start preparing for your audition. Remember, M-STEP testing continues next week for 7th grade students, so make sure to bring a fully charged laptop. All students will need a laptop and there will not be enough to check one out. 8th graders, there is an upcoming field trip on May 14th to the Career Tech Center in Central High School to learn about opportunities as a high school student. You must have a signed permission slip turned into the 8th grade office in order to attend. A lot of great things are happening at East. Let's take a look at some of the recent recognitions. Congratulations to Naomi Lardy, whose poem was selected to be part of Poets Night Out Poetry Competition. She will read her poem at the event on April 26th at the City Opera House. Also, congratulate Eve Robichuk, who was selected as an alternate last week at the state level History Day competition to compete in the national finals in Washington, D.C. Our DMC Trojan News staffs cleaned up at the MIPA Awards ceremony. Trojan TV earned a gold rating, and student journalists from Broadcasting Newspaper and Yearbook received over 50 individual awards for their work on the publications. In sports, Olivia Cotton smashed the school record for 200-meter hurdles with a time of 31:31. The previous record was set back in 1996 by Liz Van Wagner with a time of 31:82. We caught up with Lydia to learn more.
I was really happy to beat the school record because I've been trying since the 4th grade, so it was a pretty big deal for me. And then at the end of my race, my coach said you got the time 31:31, which I knew beat the school record. A long time practicing, and it took a lot of effort, and it was pretty hard.
Wow, pretty amazing breaking that record.
Yeah, way to go, Lydia.
Well, that's it for this edition of Trojan TV. Tune in again next week for another great episode.
Remember, you can watch recent and previous episodes on our Trojan TV YouTube channel.
We are leaving you with an exclusive Trojan TV interview with new Superintendent Paul Soma. See you next week.
Recently, Trojan TV got the opportunity to interview new Superintendent Paul Soma about his goals and visions for the future of TCAPS.
Hello, Zach. Good to be here.
Hi. Why did you want to become superintendent?
You know, I've worked in public education for a number of years, and at first, when I first started, I was pretty young, 25 years old, and I worked in the accounting department and the finance, and it was exciting, but a lot of that was like a job. As I grew in my career and I was connected more to students, and especially working with TCAP students and having my own children, I got a lot more connected to the work, to what happens in schools. And I just think it's a great industry. It's an industry that we make a difference in the world, and I'm just excited to be part of that. And so really it's knowing that we can make a difference, and that's what's really driven me to want to be the superintendent.
Okay. What are some goals you have for the future of TCAPS, and how will you accomplish these goals?
Yeah, so I have a number of goals. There's some high level kind of macro goals relative to our business and as it relates to our community and things like that. But I think one of the things that might that I want to focus on is relative to students is making school more exciting. And there are things about school that students find exciting. One of the things that's interesting is people talk to me and know what some of the work that I do. I'm responsible for calling off school on snow days, right? And a lot of students will talk to me about that, and we'll have some good fun about it. A lot of students, they want me to call school off, but there's always some that say, don't call school off tomorrow because we're doing this or we're doing that. They're excited to come to school. I want more students that talk to me about, please don't call school off because I want to be in school because we're doing these. A lot of that revolves around some of the extracurriculars, whether that be robotics or music program or sports or things like that. I know that's the things that get kids excited. So long story short, I'd like to make school more exciting.
Will there be any major changes while you are superintendent?
Well, change is inevitable, right? The one thing that I know is that change happens all the time. I would say that I don't see something happening that you will recognize or anything planned for tomorrow to be changes, but I do know that over the course of time, education has changed. And so I would see that education will continue to change. I think opportunities will expand. We have a lot of opportunities right now. But I think like the delivery method about how students learn and where they learn, I think those things are going to continue to evolve and change. So I think there will be changes. I think they'll be more gradual than they will be like overnight type things.
Do you think students will have a positive reaction to these changes?
I hope so. I hope so. When they come along, I hope that we make the changes that need to be made for the benefit of students and families. And some of the things I think about when I think about change in schools is the use of technology and how we access the curriculum or how we access the instruction that's being provided by teachers. We've learned that you don't always have to be sitting in a classroom to gain the education, right? And
Evan McComb,
oops.
Please come to the 8th grade office.
Something you have to deal with, huh? Oh, so we've learned that a traditional classroom setting has evolved over the course of time, and what used to be what I went to school, when I went to school or when my parents went to school, school's no longer like that anymore. I mean, we never had a classroom like this where we could conduct an interview like this and produce a very professional kind of an interview, just like what we're doing right now. So I think we're going to evolve that way, and I hope students appreciate it. And I think ultimately the changes we make hopefully will be appreciated by the students.
Originally, you did not intend to be superintendent. So what changed your mind?
Yeah, so when some changes happened last year at the top, our former superintendent, a good friend of mine and a mentor, Steve Cousins, decided that he was going to retire. The board wanted to take some time to consider the superintendency vacancy, so they appointed me as the interim superintendent. There was a set of goals that they knew that I could accomplish, and they put me in charge and said, then we'll consider the full-time position in it, after a while. While I was serving as the interim, I got to enjoy meeting a lot of people and working with a lot of people, working with our board members, and a number of folks said, you know what, you're doing a good job at this. We'd like to see you try for the full-time position. And I felt kind of like a destiny. Sometimes you don't see things that are going to happen. You don't know how you end up in places. And I think things happen for a reason. So as I was the interim superintendent and I was having a chance to interact and work with people, I had such a fulfilling time there, and I had people kind of encourage me to put my hat in the ring. And so I said, what the heck, I'll give it a try, and here I am, and excited about the future.
Is there anything you want to tell the students of East Middle School?
That's a great question, and I'm glad that you asked that. So it'd be along the lines of things that I would tell any student, and it starts with this: find your passion. Find what you love. I mentioned earlier in this interview that, if you enjoy, if you wake up and say, I hope I go to school and don't have a snow day, well, then our school district's doing something right. That's also incumbent upon you. What is it that you love to do? And I've seen things at the high school and students in the high school that they love being part of the Model UN. They love to participate in that activity. I think you have indicated that you like doing what you're doing right now and preparing for a future perhaps in the media. I see students who work, who are in the band. I know Mr. Deneen, for instance, if any of you guys are in his classroom. He's an incredible teacher, and I know that there's passion in that room relative to music. So what I would tell students is find your passion and pursue that. I understand that middle school and life, middle school can be tough and life can be tough. But if what you do is find something that you love to do, that's going to drive you to stay here. Here's another two more things I'd like to say. One, be kind to people. Again, when I talk about middle school being tough, life is tough. I mean, and really you're transitioning in middle school from being, an elementary student. You're still kind of a little kid there. You get into high school, you're getting close to being an adult. You're kind of in that in-between period. Being nice and being considerate of other people will always serve you well, and it will create an environment for success, and you will be more successful as an individual. I think that's an important lesson that we can all learn. So find a passion, you be nice to folks, that always serves people well. And then the third thing I would say, read. And that's something you probably hear your teachers and parents say, but I think you should read, and that'll help prepare you for your future too.
Reporting for Trojan TV, Zach Van Ness and Michael Gardico.